finding the equation of a perpendicular line. Now, for those who are a bit unsure what perpendicular means, it means at right angles to each other. Now, these two lines shown here, the one in the red, which is y equals 2x, and y equals minus 0.5x, which is the one in the blue, these are perpendicular to each other. Now, there's something really special about these two gradients. Now remember, the gradient for this red line is 2 because it's the value in front of the x, and for the blue line is minus 0.5 because it comes from y equals mx plus c, where the m always represents the gradient. Now, what's special about these two gradients is if you multiply them together, 2 times minus 0.5, they equal minus 1. And that is standard for any pair of perpendicular lines. If you multiply the two gradients together, they always equal minus 1. Now, the other place where you might be asked to use this formula is when trying to find the normal to a tangent in differentiation, because the normal and the tangent line are always at right angles to each other. So, m1 times m2 equals minus 1. So, find the gradient of a line perpendicular to y equals 4x plus 1. So, we're going to use the formula shown here, that the two gradients times together equals minus 1. So, 4 times something gives us minus 1. So the question mark is minus 1 over 4. So the gradient of a line perpendicular to y equals 4x plus 1 has the gradient minus 1 over 4. So, let's have a look at another example. This time we're actually asked to find the equation of the perpendicular line, not just the gradient. So it says, find the coordinate of the foot of the perpendicular from P31 to the line which has the equation y equals 3x minus 5. So what this is asking us to do is asking us to find a line that's perpendicular to 3x minus 5 and it passes through 3, 1. Now it's always helpful, as we know, to draw a quick sketch. So this equation y equals 3x minus 5 must go through minus 5 on the y-axis, and its gradient is 3, so that means for every one across it goes 3 up. So I can quickly plot a few points that lie on this line. Okay, and then we can draw a reasonably straight line through those points. So there's my line, ish, and we're told that our perpendicular line goes through 3, 1. 3, 1, 3, 1, which is there, and it's perpendicular to this line, so it must go off somewhere like this. Right, now what we need to find now is we need to find the gradient. Now remember, the grade of two perpendicular lines always multiply together to make minus 1. So we know the gradient of this line because we can find it here. It's the 3, so 3 times something gives us minus 1. Oops. So the something is minus a third. So the gradient of our perpendicular line is minus a third. So in the equation y equals mx plus c, we now know what the gradient is. It is minus a third x. And we don't know what the constant value is yet. That's what we want to find. But we know that this passes through the point 3, 1. So this passes through 3, 1. So all we're going to do is we're going to substitute those two values into this, and we should find our constant value c. So the y is 1 minus a third times our x value, which is 3, plus c. Now, minus a third times 3 is minus 1, so it equals minus 1 plus c. So our constant is 2. So our equation for the perpendicular line is y equals minus a third x plus 2. The really key thing to remember from this video is that the gradient of two perpendicular lines always multiply together to make minus 1.